And if my day keeps going this way, I just might break your face tonight! Give me some! Hey, I just watched the Vitali Klitschko, Shannon Briggs video, and yeah. Well, this is the Afterfight Afterthought about that. I'm going to go in with both fighters there, and we're going to go with the before, during, and after for both fighters. We'll start with the winner of the fight, the Afterfight, and then we'll move over to the loser, the Afterthought. And in this one, you had Vitali Klitschko coming into it, and the thing is when is it going to be his time? When is it finally going to pass him? When is Father Time going to take him out of the mix, and you know, we're going to start to see that decline? Well, this wasn't the fight. This wasn't the fight at all. Why is he fighting Shannon Briggs? Well, David Haye won't fight him, and Povetkin's needs to grow up, I guess, according to Teddy Atlas, and he's pretty much whipped everyone else that's coming up. You know. Why didn't he fight Ariel? Oh wait, he did. Yeah. Why didn't he fight Peter? Oh yeah, he did. Why did he fight Cisnas? Oh yeah, he already did. See, it's like a repetitive. So here comes he's gonna fight Shannon Briggs. And they get in the ring. Briggs is coming at him, you know, and he's got to worry about that power of Briggs, and so he keeps his distance. He's firing his jabs. He unleashes some massive right hands very early in the fight, very early in the round, and starts showing off his superior boxing skills early. And you know, he's basically daring Briggs to hit him. And this goes on. And you know, he basically takes control very early in the fight, starts dominating Briggs early. Massive beating. Starts probably around the 4th round is when you can really see, oh God, Briggs is really taking a lot of punishment. He's landing his straight right hands. He's landing his 1-2s almost at will. He's throwing a jab, then a hook, then a right hand, throwing multiple combos, throwing them all day. It was a complete and total dominance. And once it got to the latter third of the fight, you know, the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th rounds, those could have been easily scored 10-8 rounds. The 7th round could have probably been scored a 10-8 round. And in fact, if the ref would have stopped in at any time during those rounds, I wouldn't have complained at all. He hurt him numerous times in this fight, and he showed that he is at the absolute top of his game. There's no one out there aside from maybe Vladimir that stands a chance against him. He threw over 700 punches, 727, which averaged out to roughly 61 punches a round. He threw over 300 power shots, and he landed over 50% of them. In fact, he landed 171 power shots on Shannon Briggs. This is devastating cumulative power. And the fact that he landed that many shots, the fact that he threw that many punches, should let you know that this man is not slowing down at all. In fact, he looks as good now as he did 5 years ago. As you know, he looks healthy. You know, in the past he was fighting with injuries. He looks healthy now, and looks absolutely devastating. You know, you can pull up any of the heavyweight fighters and compare their punch stats to what he did. Even the active heavyweights, and you'll be like, oh crap, he throws about as much as they do. So, you know, for a heavyweight, 60 punches is a good amount around. Absolutely. So, he's the baddest man on the planet, basically, you know, when it comes to that. And until he fights his brother, which he won't, nobody's really going to beat him. I mean, David Haye might give him a run for his money for the first 1 or 2 rounds, but eventually that boxing skill and the precise, calculating, accurate bombs are going to take their toll. So let's go over to the Afterthought now with Shannon Briggs. Coming into this fight, this is it. This is the last hurrah, the last chance, the last whoopity-doo that he's going to have. I mean, the last real good fighter, Sultan Ibragimov. Was that Ibragimov that beat him? You know, will he gas out? Is he going to fade late? is he going to have the power to knock out Klitschko? I mean, he's got 30 first-round knockouts, right? So all the hype coming into this fight, they build it up, and boom, he shows up at the fight, and he only weighs 262 pounds. Now you're like, dude, 260 pounds, that's a lot. But that's the lightest he's weighed for a fight in 5 years. So you can tell he's taking it serious. He's rock solid. I mean, the dude looks like a tank going in there. He comes out slow, and immediately he starts getting dominated. You can see the speed difference. Now, he's got some speed. He has potential, but, any fighter that throws one punch at a time, they can put some stank behind it, maybe look it fast. He lands some body shots, some jabs to the body, some right hands, but he's just getting mangled. And in the fourth round, he landed a lot of shots to the body because whenever when they would clinch, immediately Briggs started hammering the body, throwing the shots. And in the fourth round, he probably landed more punches than he did the entire fight, but it was only, like 10 punches in the round. It was bad. He wasn't active at all. I mean, he threw 316 punches the entire fight. Okay, that was only 43% of what Vitali threw. And he only landed 23% of what he threw. Like 78 punches or something like that. So, you divide that by 12, what, 8? It's not even 8 punches a round he landed. Right? Because 7 would be 84. Yeah. So he wasn't even landing 7, you're talking about 7, less than 7 punches a round. That's horrible. You never really saw him throw combo at all in the fight. He was eating a lot of shots. In the 7th round, he was hurt and hurt bad. And they probably should have stopped the fight there. They say that he said, don't stop the fight, but he's the fighter in the fight. If you see he's getting beat and pummeled and taking an inordinate amount of punishment or a Tex Cobb-like beating, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to check out some of his fights. That man could take some of the worst beatings ever and still come out of it. But he was getting hit and getting beat bad. The 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, he was hurt. He was hurt bad in all those rounds. In the 7th round, you can even see his eye was starting to close, his left eye. It was just like the swelling was coming in there, and it was bad. And just because a fighter isn't bleeding doesn't mean he's not taking a disgusting amount of punishment. The cumulative effect that could have happened, or maybe did happen, is devastating. Obviously, he lost every round of the fight. When the fight was over, he collapsed, giving the urine sample. Now, I don't know if that's because he was juicing or anything like that. I think it was because of the beating he suffered. And according to ESPN, they said he suffered a broken left orbital bone. He suffered a broken nose, and they did say he has a torn left bicep. When that happened, I don't know. He is saying it happened in the first round, which is the same exact thing I would say if I wanted to get another shot for the money. If you looked at the first round, the second, third, when he's throwing the punches, there's no change in them. There's no discernible difference in the punches, and trust me on this, if you tear your bicep, which I have, you're not throwing punches afterward. It doesn't happen. Of course, I had a complete tear. Maybe he didn't have a complete tear. But, because if you throw it out, you can't pull it back. You see what I'm saying? Your arm ain't coming. You throw it, and then just drop it straight down, because you're not using it. So, I'm kind of concerned about the fact that with the test, the drug test collapsing thing, because not 5 fights ago he lost a fight because he tested positive for some stuff. Anyway, they're saying that's because of his asthma. But if you looked at it anymore, he shouldn't be in there with the top guys. He doesn't have that ability anymore. Who knows how bad the damage was done. I mean, Muhammad Ali talked fairly well after his fights, up until about the Holmes fight, and Well, you know how that turned out, right? Another thing, when you have a fighter that's saying that he's not hurt and everything like that, and it's great to let him go on and let him continue, right? No, absolutely not. When you're a ref or in the corner, you really need to take you need to be thinking about the fighter's health, because he's not thinking about his health. He's fighting in the ring. He's not thinking about his health. He walked into the ring knowing that he could die in the ring. Health is not a big concern about a fighter when he's in the ring. Okay? And it is up to you, the referee and his corner, to step up and stop a fight when you see that your fighter is taking an inordinate amount of punishment. Now, if he's hurt his bicep, he's got broken bones in his face, and they still send him out there. Well, if anything happens, these people should be charged with, like manslaughter, because they're going out there and they're putting this guy's health at risk. He's not in his right mind. The guy is getting punched in his head, in the rounds. How you let him just go out there and say, "Stay, man, don't be stopping the fight." Like, you're getting punched in the head a lot. I don't care, man, don't stop it. That's Rocky stuff. That's for the movies. You know what I'm saying? This is real life. Stuff that could happen. I mean, the NFL's having bad problems with this, with the concussions and stuff like that. I mean, you can't risk it. The cumulative effect. The fight could have easily been stopped in the 7th, should have been stopped in the 8th, should have been stopped in the 9th, should have been stopped in the 10th. You seeing what I'm saying? When you let that happen, the cumulative effect of that, maybe he's fine today, but next month, next week, or next year, when you start seeing those things, that's where the problem sets in. That's where you're laying the base for the rest of his life being almost a vegetable. And you can't run that risk. You've got to stop the fight. The ref, his corner, need to be held accountable. If anything happens to Briggs, they should have stopped the fight. That's all I'm saying. So, there it is. Comment, rate, subscribe. I hope you enjoyed it. And, we'll see where it goes from here. Alright? Well, hey, this is Bigragu. I'm out.